Yo, Mystical, where you been, man? What going on? I don't know. Yo, man, Mystical sounds so girly, yo. Just call me like, I don't know, call me like one of the other channel names or something, yo. Call me Master. You know what I mean? Or call me Miz or Mize or something. I don't know, man. You know? Like, I guess it's kind of short for mystical. It's like Mize. I don't know, man. Like, mystical super girly, yo. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with, like, being girly or whatever, but I feel like if it was, like, some chick making this and, like, it's called mystical, then, like, yo, kind of, I don't know. But, yo, man. Okay, so people probably be like, yo, why'd you name it mystical then, yo? Yo, honestly, yo, like, for real, I don't know, I thought ASMR was, like, something for girls, right? So I was like, yo, if I call it something girly, then girls are probably gonna want to watch it, right? But, yeah, that was kind of dumb. Because, everybody seems to like ASMR, you know? But, I don't know. But yeah, and now I'm just like, yo, sounds so girly, and like a lot of other channels ripped off like the mystical name too, yo. It's like, it's like, people already copy like the Urbanator, like the outdoor kind of stuff, even though people still being cocky that nobody copied. Like, yo, come on. Just being real, like, I was the first one to do it, yo. I hate talking about it because, like, a lot of people don't want to believe it. I get hate for it, but it's probably just like the haters from like all those other channels and like other like using different accounts or something, or maybe they just don't know any better. Cause like I had to like re-upload all the old videos, cause they showed me in them, like without like my Urbanator disguise or whatever. So I re-uploaded them recently, obviously, like, but like the originals, they're from like years and years ago. Like when I got into the ASMR game, yo, like everybody was just doing ASMR inside their homes, their houses, just indoor stuff. Not even inside like public stores, but like just at their house, you know? And I was like, yo, let me do something different. Everybody seems to be so scared to go outside, And maybe that's how I'll build a following, do something original. And that's how like the whole Urbanator thing came out. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should take Urbanator a step further and do stuff inside stores and tap and trace. So I did that too, but and then I took them off obviously later on, and then had to re-upload them, and other people copied the ideas clearly, and and then people just started thinking that other people came up with it, and that I had nothing to do with it. Nah, you know, this channel's the OG. If it wasn't enough just ripping off the content, people even ripped off the name, yo. If you look up like mystical ASMR, you'll find so many variations of it. Like I just like had productions, and then some people removed the productions and then just kept it as mystical ASMR. I was like, yo, you can't be like, taking my channel name too, yo. What is this? But that's something I don't like about the whole YouTube and like all this like online creative community stuff, because everybody just tends to steal people's stuff, you know what I mean? Like a lot of like, I don't know, like even like the beats and stuff that I made that I didn't ever hear anybody else make or whatever, and then like they just sometimes get copyrighted because I guess people copied them and then copyrighted it, and then it's like, oh, it's like you can't be using this so and so. But it's like I don't really care, yo. It's like I came out with it. I didn't listen to no one else's stuff. And plus, like, I don't even have like enough subs on that account to really even bother, right? So, but it's still, it kind of just like, it was like, damn, man, like, how are you gonna be creative? Like, you can't even really do much, yo. You know what I mean? Or, I don't know, maybe maybe that doesn't make much sense, but it's like that. Like when stuff you didn't even copy gets copyrighted, and that's where you kind of have to draw the line and be like, yo, like, so what can you really do on here now, you know? Because like everything is just like, anybody could just like steal your stuff and copyright it, and so like it's just, I don't know, man, it's just like sad, to be honest, and yeah, but whatever, you know, but yeah, I mean, yo, man, you know, even like the rap channels and stuff like that, like I had wrote all those, alright, and then I was like, oh man, what if like somebody like hacks onto like, my accounts or whatever, like my phone, and then steals my lyrics, right? And that's kind of why like I decided to just post them, even though they were like pretty much just rough copies, right? Because I just wanted like the lyrics out there, pretty much, I guess. Like, I don't know, man, like I just wanted the lyrics out there, you know what I mean? Like in case like, I don't know, like my computer, like my phone or something got hacked, or my emails or something, and people stole my lyrics. At least like, I could like show like, oh, like look here, yo, I like rapped this way before, you know what I mean? Cause like, and yo, that's the thing, eh? Like I knew some like music directors and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Or like wannabe people, or like wannabe rappers and all that, and like, don't share your beats or your music, you know what I mean? Cause like they steal your stuff. Like there's like, one person, like I thought like I was just like, yo, sampling the stuff, and like this like, you know person like stole one of my beats and then tried to pull it off as like, it was theirs. I'm like, yo, nah, you don't like steal my shit, yo. Like, yeah, it was a big deal, obviously, you know what I mean? But the point is, yo, like, you're better off just keeping your lyrics and your beats to yourself. Don't trust no one. Just release it on wherever you want. You know what I mean? After that, if you want to share them, sure, if you want to, but as long as like you posted beforehand, because like some of the stuff I hadn't actually released, so you know what I mean. But whatever, yo, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just like there's like so many thieves and like just people like to steal stuff, and like because they can't be original themselves. No offense, but I'm just saying, right? Like people might be like, oh, maybe they got inspired, but yo, stealing someone's stuff and like not giving them credit and then denying it when being confronted, that's not being inspired. That's just being like a thief. It's like, yo, so be like, be careful about that if you want to do the creative type stuff. And always like obviously like email or mail like your lyrics to yourself beforehand, and don't open the mail or something. I don't know, I think emails might work too, but the old school mail method is, it's, I don't know, more safer, I guess, because, but I don't know. Anyways, yo, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, you could look up whatever and maybe better ways, but beep beep, 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 beep beep. But yeah, so because like I didn't want people like producing like my beats or like my raps or copying them or whatever, right? So I just rushed, like I pretty much just uploaded like rough work, you know what I mean? Like rough copies of everything, just so I could like get it out there and stuff, like, and have like the posted dates and stuff, you know what I mean? But it's like that, yo. I mean, that's pretty much why, like, if you guys were wondering like why like the music and everything like was so bad, and like why all the raps are so like, I don't know, garbage and just like sound like, like a kindergartner made them. Well, that's pretty much why I had to just get out the work, out there, ASAP kind of thing, because I was stupid enough to sort of share some of like my beats and my music, you know what I mean, thinking that these like wannabe music people or whatever would like, you know what I mean, actually like be interested in, like, I don't know, man, like, like, isn't that like how like the rappers used to do it back in the day? Like they went out to like people created like music and beats and stuff, and like, like record label type stuff, right? Or just like labels, right? And that's kind of what I was like doing, but I didn't realize like the people actually like steal your stuff too, especially if like you're not well known at all, or you're just starting out and they like see something like worthy. Instead of like giving you credit and like getting you where you need to be, they'll just like try to like shortcut you and like steal your stuff. So be wary of that. Like no matter how professional some music people might seem, just you're honestly better off being like a private, like label yourself and like I don't know, man, just have like some kind of like channel or whatever to just like market yourself, or like just release your own music. You know what I mean? Like don't bother with the whole like getting like through like music companies or producers or whatever. Like I don't know, man, like it's just not worth it. At least in my opinion, it's like everybody's just a thief and just like playing, that's kind of why I like stopped rapping too, and stopped with the whole wannabe rapper phase and like making like proper music or beats, because like the beats were just getting like copyrighted, right? Because like you know what I mean. And then the raps, like same thing, like people steal your lyrics and stuff. And it's like some of the lyrics, like because I wrote all my stuff myself, and I made sure it wasn't inspired from no one. You know what I mean? So when people try to steal your stuff and like like you made it, it kind of hurts. It kind of bothers you more, like compared to if you were just stealing like stuff yourself and just posting it like whatever. I don't know, it's hard to explain, man. It's like the Mona Lisa guy, yo. Is that Da Vinci or whatever? Imagine if people just like copy this like Mona Lisa and just pass it on as their own, you know? I mean, for all we know, maybe Da Vinci copied off of someone else. We don't know. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, imagine how that would be. Like, the original artist doesn't even get recognition or like the credit, and like, and they're so good, but after like they see like people steal stuff and all that, and they don't get credit for it, right? They just stop producing art, you know. And imagine this: somebody steals somebody's brilliant art idea, and that artist like realizes, like everybody's just like a copycat, and like they steal and they don't give credit. So like what's really the point, right? So like stealing that one Mona Lisa, if it was stolen, I'm just saying, and the person like says, yo, f this, yo, there's no point if everybody's just gonna steal my stuff anyway. Imagine them just like saying, yo, I'm not gonna make any more art, right? And like we thought the Mona Lisa was cool. Mona Lisa is just an example, by the way. But like imagine how much more great, even greater art the same artist could have made. You know what I mean? If they weren't so discouraged. But I'm just saying, I'm not being cocky. I'm just saying. Beep beep. 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 I know it's like, yo, you being so cocky, bro. You just think your stuff like is Mona Lisa. No, man, but it's the Mona Lisa to me, Cause like I don't know, man. Like you can't. It's hard to explain, if somebody makes some kind of art, right? It could be like the crappiest raps in the world or whatever, right? But for them, like that's like their work, and for them that's like the best thing ever, cause like they actually like wrote it themselves or whatever. They put that effort in, so to them it's like the best thing ever, even though to us it probably sounds like super nonsense and garbage, like all my music and raps and all that. But to me it was like the Mona Lisa, yo, because like why else would somebody put so much effort into. But to me it's like the Mona Lisa, because like why else would somebody like spend so much effort creating like all this artwork or lyrics or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, yo. So you know what I mean. But yeah, so that's kind of like what discouraged me, and you know and then it was like the whole, like there's like a lot of other stuff too, right? Like it's like, oh, what if like I don't even want to get into all that stuff, but the point is like I just kind of wanted to get out whatever like stuff I had created, even though like it wasn't good copies or even like well rehearsed or anything. The whole point was to just get it out, like speedy wise. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I guess that's kind of like my weird advice. Like, don't trust no one with your art. Just release it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, don't even bother like doing anything or whatever. I don't even know why anybody would these days, anyways, considering there's SoundCloud and like I guess YouTube and like whatever else there is. I don't know. I don't really, I'm not really into the whole social media stuff anymore. Like I used to be, obviously, like, but I don't know. It's just like I don't know, man. Sometimes like you just kind of grow out of it, and it's like you need to kind of like I don't know, man. Like have a balance or something. So I don't like try to get involved in all that stuff too much, but maybe I should. Like my Instagram is like literally nothing, just the logo, you know. But I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just like I just like doing whatever I want to do. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So that's kind of why like I got discouraged. Not even discouraged. Like you kind of just realize, if people are just gonna steal your stuff, like what's the point of like putting all that effort into creating all this art and lyrics and stuff, right? So I was like, I might as well just release it, because at least that way, even if people were to steal it, maybe, just maybe one day, maybe in like a billion years or something, if like YouTube and all this still around, people be like, oh, look at the post they did on this. Oh, this so and so artist got so famous, but they stole the stuff from this person. You know what I mean? So maybe I'll get like recognition in like a million years or something, or a billion years. Who knows? Or maybe even never. But at least having it out there, it's like there's still a chance, even though it's not like a good chance at all. But even if one person listens to my stuff and like helps them in some way, that's good enough for me. You know, yeah, I know that's like, yo, man, like, why you being so like drama queen, yo? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm just being real. Like, it got to the point where like, yo, man, look. At one point, I really did want to go through with the whole music and rapping thing, like professionally, right? But then like when I saw like there's so many crooks in like the industry and everything, right? And I realized there's no point, man. Like, the best you can do is just like kind of release it yourself or whatever if you want. But you know what I mean? It's just like if everybody's just gonna be copying your stuff, it's like I don't know, man. It's hard to explain, man. It's like kind of like letting you down, pretty much. But shouldn't let you down, cause you should be like, yo, f this, yo, I gotta do my thing still, right? But but there comes a time when like you realize like you work so hard on your lyrics and your beats and stuff, and people just steal it, and then they buy their subs and views and stuff, or they can afford better marketing, and they get like all the attention, right? And then you just like kind of sitting there and thinking, yo, man, like why people worshiping this person, yo? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why not like appreciate the original, But they don't know the original, because sometimes the original can't just like shell out like so much money for like marketing and like getting people hired to like post their stuff at the right places, and you know what I mean, man. It's like a lot more complicated than that, but you get my point. Anyways, beep, 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 beep. Okay, yeah, I know. Okay, so now people are gonna be like, yo, man, if you're so worried about like your stuff or whatever, you could like pay someone so site or whatever and like trademark your lyrics and everything. Yeah, I get it. You could like Google that stuff, and like there's some sites or whatever that do that for you, right? You just like pay some licensing fee or whatever, right? Like I get it. Some people are gonna be like, yo, why don't you just pay those sites or whatever, like that license your lyrics or whatever, and you could copyright them or trademark them or whatever, right? And then you don't have to worry about stuff. I get it, but at the same time, it's like even like those sites or whatever, they're just like out to make money. You know what I mean? Like, get what I mean? Like everybody's just like out to make money in some way. It's like, yo, like, why should I have to pay like some next company or whatever? You know what I mean? To like give me some like trademark or license my work that I made. Why should I have to pay someone else? You know what I mean? It's my stuff. Like people should like not be stealing it. Or like if I post my own work, it should be like safe from people copying it. Get what I mean? Like it's like you create stuff and then you have to pay just to protect your own stuff, like your own lyrics and stuff, like your creative stuff, because otherwise people might like copy it and then trademark your stuff and pass it on as their own. I don't know, man. It seems so like rigged, yo. Like everybody's just out to make money. Nobody really cares about the artist, you know. Oh, haha! Look at you calling yourself an artist. Like, oh, I heard your raps and music. They suck. Yeah, I get it. Maybe, yeah, they do still, but to you know what, man? How you gonna tell an artist how to paint or a painter how to paint? You know what I mean? Like, get what I mean? Like, you can't really tell an artist how to make art. You know, like everybody's art's different. Even if it sucks, like it's still an art. You know, it's like I don't know. I guess like it could be poop, right? But if you look at it, if you think about it, you know, it's like everybody takes a poop, but it falls like a different way. So in that sense, everybody's poop is art too. Haha, not funny and kind of gross, but whatever, yo. But yeah, but nah, it's nothing really to get discouraged about. But it's just something to be mindful of if you guys are thinking about something like this or just in general. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, if people just copy your ASMR styles or like your ASMR stuff, right? Clearly, they're bound to like copy like other stuff too. Basically, everybody just copies. Yo, I hate that. I don't like that because I don't bother copying people's stuff. Straight up, I don't even watch other people's stuff because I don't even want to subconsciously copy anyone's work. But that's just me. You know, maybe I'm too old school, or maybe I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm too naive, yo. You know what I mean? But beep 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 beep. But nah, yo. Like I know, like now people gonna be like, yo, don't let the haters like discourage you from making music and rapping and all that. Yo, it's not even that, yo. You know, like for all I care, like I could just say, yo, f everything. If I want to do it, I'll do it, right? But honestly, yo, it I don't know. It's like once you kind of like get discouraged as an artist, like I don't know. It's like I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. Like once you get discouraged as an artist, like in the sense that like you kind of see like what the industry's really like, right? It I don't know. It kind of changes your mind about a lot of stuff, and then it's like, yo, man, like you know, why even bother putting all that effort in and stuff? And it's not even that. It kind of just like takes away like your drive and motivation to an extent. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, guys, like you guys might be like, oh, but you gotta fight it. You gotta fight through it and all that. I understand, right? But see, sometimes all that stuff like it sounds better, like in the movies, right? Like that stuff's like Hollywood, cause like in real life, yo, if like like your music and all that's not really gonna go nowhere, and like you're like probably just gonna get like I don't know, like people gonna steal your stuff, right? Um, it kind of like I don't know, it discourages you from actually like having fun with your craft and like making art for the sake of making it because you actually want to make it. Get what I mean? Because like I don't know, like that mental freedom kind of goes away. Like first when I was making stuff and writing lyrics or whatever, right? I like that's genuinely like I was putting like I don't know, like work into like the art aspect of and being creative, right? Because I didn't think people would steal like your lyrics or like take your ideas or your beats or whatever. Get what I mean? Like you just make art for the sake of making art. Does that make sense? Or like like you have fun with it because you're making it for the sake of making art. Like you don't realize like like everybody's like like somebody who could steal your content and stuff. Even like the people in the industry who are supposed to like help you become a artist or rapper or whatever. You know. And then when you kind of realize that, it's like it takes away like I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. It's like if you like writing lyrics or like making music or whatever, and like in the back of your head, like you're just worried about like people ripping off your content. Like you don't really want to push yourself and like make like the best music. You know what I mean? You kind of just want to put out like whatever if you even decide to put out anything at all. Because after the point it just gets to like the point where like all that goes to your head is like yo like oh what if somebody rips off this idea too? Oh, you know what? Like let's just leave it. Let's just like leave all the ideas and your mind. Let's not even like put them out for the public or even put them out in the world. At least that way they'll just always stay original and like just for you and with you. Cause you know what I mean. It gets like that, yo. Like I know that's like super depressing and like, but I'm just being real, yo. Like you know, like sometimes I think about like maybe I should like redo all the raps properly, like how they should be done, all like nicely and all that. But then I just don't feel the drive for it. It's just like the rough copy stuff that's there, even though it like sounds super bad and everything. Like that's I put it out there, and after like the motivation's gone, it's just it's hard to explain, man. Like even like I know I'm supposed to be like encouraging people, and like I'm supposed to be all super positive and like not giving a f and all that, considering like that's kind of what the Urbanator brand represented, like not caring about anything and just doing whatever, you know like pretty much like how Nike says, oh, just do it. Urbanator was like, yo, I already done it, bruh, you know stuff like that. I know this like so like cocky, but I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. It's like I don't know if like if you're an artist and like you kind of went through like what I'm talking about, you can probably relate. Like I know you guys might be like, oh, but who cares? Don't make art for the sake of it. Who really cares if people steal or whatever? Just have fun with it. But that's the thing, like uh, it's like see, it's like this to an artist, like I know it's so funny me calling myself an artist, but anyways, what I'm trying to say is like to like the person that's creating something, right? Like to them, they're like an artist, and their stuff they're creating, it's their art, right? And like for them, they feel like their art should be special and respected, and they feel like if anybody steals their art or tries to pass it on as their own or whatever, right? That's like disrespect to the art, you know? And like a true artist, they don't really like their art being disrespected in any kind of way, whether it's just people copying it or like passing it on as their own or whatever it could be, right? Because like for you as an artist, your art is sacred. It's like it's almost like praying. It's like your devotion to your art. Like your art is like special to you, you know like it's like your devotion in an essence. Like how people pray. You're like when you're an artist and you're putting all the effort into like your art, it's kind of equivalent to like kind of like putting like that oneness, like how you would like maybe when you're praying. Like I don't want like the religious people to get mad about that, but it's I just sometimes find it hard to explain what I'm really trying to say. So you know but yeah, so it's like like you don't want people like disrespecting your art by like trying to copy it and all that, because like I don't know, man, it's hard to explain. It's like it's your art is your devotion, right? And like for anybody to just like take it or manipulate it or chop it up or do this and that with it, it's like you rather not even put it out. You know what I mean? It's like the whole thing. Like if like if if something's gonna be used for evil, I know it's like haha what evil what, but you know what I mean. Like you're better off not even putting out there. That's I don't know. Like you kind of get what I'm trying to say or not? I don't know, man. Maybe this is a super bad video. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like yo, okay. And I was even thinking of doing like the professional type singing, like basically just using like the autotune stuff, like how like they do in studios, like for singing songs or whatever. Like how like every artist does that. Pretty much all the singers, like that's why like their music usually sounds different compared to like live. So I was thinking of like maybe like doing something like that, and then putting it on the videos. But then people are gonna be like, "Why are you using auto tune?" So I don't know what to do. It's like we already done the original type singing, but I don't know. It's like I don't know. That's kind of why I don't bother with it. But then sometimes I feel like, oh, maybe I should. Like maybe, just for the fun of it. But I don't know. Okay. Anyways, my point is, I don't know, man. Like I know I look. Look, I know some people might be like, "Oh, you shouldn't care about what other people think. Just create art. If you want to rap, yo, just keep going, make your lyrics and all that." Yo, that stuff's easier said than done, you know. When like that drive and motivation kind of goes away, like yeah, it's hard to explain, man. It's like I don't know. It's hard to explain. You just like you kind of lose your interest for it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to like sound like oh like I'm supposed to be encouraging everyone, right? So like I don't mean to be like oh give up on your dreams or whatever. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that sometimes things change, situations change, and like I don't know, man. I know this sounds so depressing now. It's like, oh, you're giving up on your dream. Mm, well, it's kind of like this, man. Like I kind of saw like the stupid aspect of it. I saw like the fakeness of it. I saw like the double standards of it and like how people like try to rip off your work and pass it on as your own and as their own. I mean, I experienced all that stuff and you know, so I just kind of put out my rough copy, like my drafts, like my lyrics and beats or whatever, like just like making them like just rough copies, just so I could get my work out there, you know. But yeah, after just kind of doing it, it's like, yo, you know what? Like, if like the music's supposed to reach someone, like deep down, like even like the shitty like the crappy versions or whatever, maybe they'll also be able to speak to someone if they're really supposed to speak to someone, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean they're not perfect, they're far from perfect, but maybe they might actually help someone get a deeper enlightenment, or they might actually speak to someone and like actually motivate them, maybe, you know what I mean, how they are. So I don't know, I know that's just like whatever, but alright, easy.